What is happening, guys? I'm back with another episode of Let's Plays, and today I already have started a game just to kind of get a slight understand, but we're gonna start from the scratch with the Shapeshifting Detective, and without further ado, let's get into this. Crazy bubbles there.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
Sounds horrible. In my opinion, anyway.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut.
Okay. How do I do that? What? Trash. So, what happens if I trash it?
You know why you're here, don't you?
No?
The dead girl. And this. What exactly were you thinking? You have one job. Don't get caught. Do you think you can do that this time?
There's no choice if I don't know. I don't know. Yes?
It's a rhetorical question. You're going to a town called August. Find Chief DuPont. He's gonna think you're someone else. This person. This is who you are now.
So who am
Understood?
I currently? Well, then who am I currently then?
Splendid. If
Okay.
someone so much as sniffs that you're different, you'll be deprecated.
Deprecated.
Why? I mean, I don't know what's going on
We
now.
expect you to use your ability. Just don't get caught. And never, ever change into a child.
In brighter news, August resident Mia French is celebrating the return of her missing pooch, Barley. The 8-month-old Basset Hound puppy was found outside Daryl's Chicken and Ribs.
And that's 5 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
I'm Violet. Welcome to the guest house. There are some rules. In particular, no shoes in the guest house. The carpets are priceless. Now, how long are you staying for?
I'm not sure.
That's fine. It's yours for as long as you want it. There's not been many visitors of late. Perhaps the murder will bring some tourists in.
Murder?
Sometimes we wish we'd asked something and the moment just passes.
Sure, what you said.
Yes, the murder. You haven't spoken to the chief yet, have you?
Well, obviously I gotta find somewhere to lodge first before I can just go jumping into action. I mean, how would that look if I'm trying to freaking solve a murder? I'm just gonna go just talk to the chief without getting my lodging reservations taken care of first. I don't know. That doesn't matter.
Chief DuPont. He's the one who booked the room for you. You look lost. You should probably go and speak to the chief. Your room is just down the hall, last on the left. It has its own back door. The chief said that's the way you'd like it.
Sounds like fun.
Just finishing.
Okay, we'll go at predicting the future.
You don't believe? That sounded serious. You must have a serious job to do. Hi, I'm Bronwyn.
Okay, Bronwyn.
Pleased to meet you, Sam. If you'd like a reading.
Yeah, sure, let's roll with it.
So, what's your question, Sam? Oh. The Page of Cups. It suggests I'm innocent of whatever it is I'm being accused of. I'm going to be seeing a lot more of you, aren't I, Sam? I'm in room 1 and that's down the hall. Lorraine's in 2, Lexi's in 3. And which room are you in, Sam? Good. We're neighbors. Just knock if you need me.
Okay.
News. Why do you keep the quilt on it? I'm in shock. It can get pretty dirty, I reply. Oh, I'll bet it does, she winks. So, I was wrong. Apparently the quilt could have some action after all, but not tonight. There was a corpse walking around somewhere, and it didn't have many...
Let's go to our room. That's one of those like kind of radio stations, the minute you start listening to it, you're gonna get sucked right into it. Alright. Cozy. Looks very cozy. So we're just kind of just walking around a room now. Shifting locked. Leave.
Right on the couch. Just like before I
choice
shot
now,
her.
do I?
I believe you, I say, looking at my gun. But I just shot you.
Wait,
You
what?
didn't shoot me, she smiles. I told you to think that you'd shot me, and you did. So, my alpaca couch, I ask hopefully? Oh, the gunshot's real. The alpaca took it in the chest. I grimace. 6 weeks wasted. I knew I had a reason for wanting her dead. I point the gun at her and sneer.
Good, you got my message.
Okay.
Chief Inspector DuPont. I wasn't sure you'd come, but I suppose you're between jobs?
Well, I guess you could say that. I mean, given whatever happened last time. So, I guess I'm between a couple jobs here, so I'm not 100% sure or where I'm at. But yes, I'm Sam.
Well, we both know that's not true. But I like it. Sam. That's your cover now. So, the job. Dorota Shaw. 21, accomplished cellist, redhead. Strangled.
Jeez.
I know who did it, but I need proof. It's the tarot readers. Because they predicted it. The older one, Bronwyn, she came into my office last night talking all crazy and saying Dorota was in trouble. I did my best not to lock her up.
So, he's basically assuming that the tarot readers did it. So, I can understand how they would predict it if they saw that coming, but how many are there?
It all sounded crazy to me. Tarot, the spirit world, cards that move, trans-dimensional thingamajigs? To be honest, I thought she'd probably been smoking something, and that's why I didn't take it seriously.
But why didn't you... Exactly, why isn't she in jail?
Because things. I don't have enough on her. That's where you come in. The free guest house stay isn't free. I need you to work the case and report back to me. Find out things from the inside. Can you do it?
Nope.
Okay. I'll be telling everyone that you've been hired by the Shaws because obviously local law enforcement is either too incompetent or too overworked to solve anything. That gives you a license to talk to people, but only notionally. Don't actually touch people or annoy them. You don't have any real authority, understand? But you help me out, I'll help you.
Alright. Where's my badge and gun? Nope.
Do I have to spell it out? I'll make your problem go away, or at least sink it to the bottom of a pile of paperwork.
Yeah, I want to know what this problem was. Like, what was this problem to begin with?
Your old town? The problem?
I don't
Come and
know.
find me when you're settled. This is Second Chance Sunday for you, Sam. Don't blow it.
Let's see.
In her bedroom. She was naked. Strangled.
Naked and strangled.
No signs of sexual activity of any kind. It was a weird scene to look at. There was one
yeah,
thing,
I'm sure
but
it
it's
was
strictly
weird.
between you and me. Dorota had a gold coin in her mouth. I'm being serious now, Sam. Not a word of this. It's the one thing only the killer would know.
A gold coin? What the hell? She take a coin from Super Mario?
Born here, runs the local guest house. Lovely lady. Where are you going with this, Sam? What's she told you?
Let's not say anything.
Look, if it's about the pills, I already know.
Oh, pills.
Do I have an alibi for last night? Do I? Okay. Yeah. I was here, and there are video monitors that will prove it. Thanks for ruling me out, genius. What do you want to know? She was a cellist, selected for a scholarship at Juilliard. It was in the local paper. I'm more of a Bon Jovi fan myself.
Alright.
Don't read the paper, do you? Yesterday, Monday the 9th at approximately 9 p.m, according to the coroner, we got a call from the mother just after 10 p.m. Not much. Perhaps you should do some investigating?
Alright, so we're done talking to him. And let's go back to the guest house.
The hotel was littered with Tenzin's white cigarette butts, like scattered finger bones. He gave me one long final grin. And I believe I'm immortal.
I assume you've been to see Chief DuPont already.
That I have.
Not really. I'm sure she was a precious lamb, though. Yes, a lamb. Young. Innocent. Lambs get slaughtered, though, don't they? Nice, yes, that's a good description. Actually, I thought she was a bit slutty, to be honest.
Slutty? So she trying to say she got around like a record?
Sorry. I'm gossiping. I don't want to talk ill of the dead. Ask her boyfriend.
Oh, she has a boyfriend.
Oscar lives at the vicarage next to the church. Don't tell him I sent you, though. I'm sure he's sick of seeing people already. They're tarot readers. I'm thinking of asking them to leave, actually.
Why? I mean, what, are they doing anything that's causing trouble? I mean...
Demands already? I'm only thinking of doing it. It's the strangest thing. I honestly don't remember. But I imagine I was here or getting groceries somewhere.
At night? You're getting groceries at night? I mean... I suppose, but we'll see how this unravels.
No, and I didn't murder her, if that's what you're asking. I take clozapine. I think they're for anxiety. I'm a very anxious person.
Okay.
I don't know, Dr. Sam, you tell me.
Well, you're the one that's taking the damn pills, so I mean... Yeah, I think she's already like a suspect in my book, honestly. She is totally a suspect. But, alright, we'll leave her be and we'll start visiting these tarot readers.
And you feel overwhelmed by the emotions caused by it. And if I'm honest, I just want to let you know that so many of us go through situations like this, so...
Sam, is it? I'm sensing you're not here for a reading. Chief DuPont thinks I did it. I'm hoping you'll convince him otherwise. All I'm asking is that you dig a little deeper than the chief. I had nothing to do with Dorota's death.
Okay.
We saw danger in the cards and we tried to stop it. Trust me, Sam, we're on the same team. We saw it in the cards, not images, feelings, impressions. Tarot can be very powerful. Not these cards. They only tell us what they want us to know.
Okay, so what cards did you use? Apparently I don't get that question, so we're gonna ask where were you at 9 p.m. last night?
In my room, reading. I found a trashy romance novel under the bed. I'm assuming it's Violet's. It's all swooning heroines and brooding vampire Casanovas. Thank God Lexi saved me. No, not at all. Lexi popped in and we chatted for a bit, but that's all. I said the book was trashy. Look at this place. If her guest house is anything to go by, Violet's the opposite of trashy.
Alright, let's visit the other tarot readers and hopefully we can slowly but surely unravel this case.
It's more about what you can do. What do you think you might do with the mirror?
If I'm honest, at first, because of the handle, I thought maybe...
Oh, hi. Sam, is it? Come on in. Make yourself at home. Mi casa es su casa. Come on.
Alright, we'll start from the top.
I don't know anyone in this town, except for Bronwyn and Rain, obviously, and Violet, and the Chief, and now you. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. Good old-fashioned fortune-telling. Well, kind of. We drew a card each and smushed them all together. Do you know what the most dangerous tarot card is?
Let's go with the devil.
Nah, the devil's cool. The tarot one, I mean, not the actual one. I'm not a devil worshipper. The Five of Swords. I think so anyway. There's nothing more dangerous than someone taking whatever they want, no matter the cost.
So apparently she must have drew the Five of Swords. But we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, I did. Rain got the Knight of Wands, that's Dorota, and Bronwyn got the Ten of Swords, which is, well, you know, swords in general are bad.
I wonder why would they be bad in general?
She's like my big sister, so pretty well. No.
Well, that was an honest no.
The cards told us to. Well, the cards in Rain. Tarot gives us a rough direction and he narrows it down with some astrological jiggery pokery. He's basically a walking esoteric library. And if that sounds dull, let me reassure you, it is.
Alright.
No? Well, yeah. Well, no.
Yeah.
We have a job to do.
Yeah and no.
I didn't say job. I said job. Okay. We make a cheese obelisk, a chob, and depending on the shape of that chob, we get different answers to questions. No, you don't. I was in my room all night with Bronwyn. We were painting our nails. You can ask Bronwyn. We were together. Not together. That sounded kinkier than I meant it to.
Somebody's lying already. When we get to the bottom of this, we're going to speak to Rain next.
Well, I wish we could give everyone in August one of those.
Poe's curiosity shop is now closed.
You must be a new guest. Or you're burglaring us. I'm Rain, by the way. Pleased to meet you, Sam. Enjoy your stay. The hot water goes off at 9, by the way. So it's cold showers from there on in. It really bugs me. I didn't know her. I know she was called Dorota Shaw. She was young, had red hair, a talented musician. No, not at all. You're completely barking up the wrong tree there. Spoken like the true killer, posing as a detective, trying to frame someone else for the murder. We did a reading, a group reading, actually, with a special tarot deck.
Yeah, I want to know what this tarot deck is.
The three of us get together and read the same cards. Bronwyn says it makes the whole thing stronger or more powerful or something, but I'm pretty sure I'd get the same answers just on my own. Mercury, it's not exactly from here. With a normal tarot deck, you'd have the question, so you'd be the querent. With Mercury, it gives you the question and the answer. The cards themselves kind of change. It's a special deck.
I wonder why does it make it so special? I mean, that would be interesting to know more about this deck. I mean, I guess that'd help, right?
I don't have it at the moment. Bronwyn has it. I was in my room. Praying, actually. I don't believe in God, but I was still praying. It didn't work.
Okay.
I don't believe in anything, but I also believe anything is possible, so it's a conundrum.
Sounds like it.
Perhaps represented as danger of certain people, people that listen.
Find somewhere safe to transition. You're not a superhero.
Okay. Alright, so we are going to be... We can transform. I guess any person we interact with, we can transform. That's my guess. So we're gonna start by using Lexi.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm Lexi.
Is being out of control. Now, the tightrope itself?
What's up, Lexi? I'm sensing something's on your mind.
I'm worried about our alibi.
Don't worry about that. We don't have anything to hide. I'm more worried about Violet. I didn't see her last night, did you?
You think she's the murderer? Did Violet know Dorota? You think she's the murderer?
I'm not sure I'd go that far, but it's definitely suspicious.
Ah, okay.
She referred to the negative people that are in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I think from what you said about your dream is that you're trying so hard to keep your life balanced.
Something's weird, isn't it? Ron seems strange today.
How are you?
Do you think Bronwyn might get falsely imprisoned? It happens all the time.
Are you looking to take over?
No. I'm just worried.
Ah, okay.
But Marek, what I'd like to say to you is that maybe you're worrying too much about these negative people.
Alright, let's go back to our room and let's use Rain. Let's see what we can get more out of
Hello.
these
I'm Rain.
these tarot readers.
I'm Rain.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps, Marek, you need to take a step back.
Let's visit
I think
Lexi.
in this.
Rain, I'm so worried about Bronwyn. What are we going to do?
Why are you worried about Bronwyn?
The chief thinks she killed Dorota.
Maybe she did kill Dorota.
She must be early 20s.
Oh, okay.
The white robes barely cover her.
Have you
What's
met
the
the new
problem?
detective yet? We're basically under 24-hour surveillance now.
Do you think Sam's onto us?
Onto what exactly?
The real reason we're here. What we did last night. Our role in the murder. The real reason we're here. Our role in the murder.
The
The real reason we're here.
Sam's not a mind reader. At least I don't think so. Just try not to let anything slip.
Alright.
To the victims. He drops a barely touched cigarette to the floor and squishes it with his boot heel, wiping his...
Alright, let's use Bronwyn and let's see if we can get out of this.
Hi, I'm Bronwyn. I'm Bronwyn.
Very interesting name.
After a few rings,
I've
it's
never heard
answered.
of it, that's why.
Mrs. Hedges. I think...
Bron, something doesn't feel right. I don't know what exactly, but it's not right.
Thoughts on Dorota?
Well, it's hard to say with just one victim. Musical talent, red hair. If there's another, there will be a pattern. Do you think it's another right?
A right?
What's a right?
As in the same thing we were chasing after in Birmingham? I suppose it doesn't really matter. Just have to try and stop it.
Stop it?
Yes, stop it. If it's a traveller killing things.
Traveller?
Bron, you're acting weird. Are you still you?
Of course. No.
No. Uh-oh.
Bron?
Oh.
If that's you, then...
Uh-oh.
Who the hell are you? Wait. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Wherever it is you came from. Bang! 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 The bullets rip holes through her chest, and blood arcs ferocious.
I think that wasn't a good idea. Let's go back to being Sam. Just to be on the safe side.
You're mine now, the girl says, and reaches her hand into his...
Let's go back to him. Maybe we might... Okay, nothing.
It only takes a second. A transfer of energy takes place that can...
Did it have anything else to say? Oh,
Mercury.
okay.
Sure. I'll just get it. It feels a bit sacrilegious just spreading it out to show you. It doesn't really answer questions, it more asks them. Do you want it to ask you a question, Sam?
Sure, let's roll with it.
It wants to know if you're happy being the person you are now.
Yes?
Mercury doesn't agree. In fact, if anything, and I could be wrong, it's suggesting that you're not even the person you're saying you are now. I've only had that reading once before.
Huh.
And lights it. Cough. Cough. Coughing like it's her...
Let's see Violet. Maybe we might get something out of her. Nothing?
Shrugs. Gotta find me a good one.
You're listening to
Lexi. Nothing?
No.
Contagion by Ashley Van Hesteren. Read by Adam.
I want to see what else I can get out of this.
Hello, I'm Rain. I'm Rain.
I hope I don't get caught, because I kind of did, so I'm just trying to...
Needed was an audience to be infectious, and
I'm going
it's
to try to
so
talk to Bravo and see what
easy.
happens. Nothing.
This ghost of a phenomenon, so much ritual.
Alright, let's return to Sam. Actually, you know what? Let's be the chief. Maybe we could talk to Violet.
Hi, Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
Okay, Mr. DuPont.
Started with one, the first domino to be pushed down.
Who knows whether you've made the right decision or not, Claude?
How's Bronwyn been? What were you doing last night?
Claude, we've been through this. I honestly don't remember. I checked my diary and there's no entry, so I was probably here, as always.
How can you not remember, Violet?
I don't know. Which is exactly what I said in my statement. Don't try and get me to contradict myself.
How's Bronwyn been?
Overly nice. She's covering her tracks well if she has anything to hide.
What was it I asked you to do again?
You just told me to report back to you if I noticed anything suspicious. Good grief, Claude. You're a bit young to be losing your marbles already.
The demon would grow stronger, too big for its stolen place, pushing lungs out of the way until breathing hurts.
Alright, let's go back as Sam and maybe we can hail a cab to go somewhere?
That girl, that first girl, she was no different.
It's 6 o'clock, and you're listening to Radio August. Police investigating the murder of Dorota Shaw are appealing to the community to help catch her killer. The body of 21-year-old Miss Shaw, an accomplished cellist, was found in her home last night. Police are describing the murder as a violent and despicable act. Monroe.
It's just terrible. Meanwhile, out of respect for the victim and her family, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced shortly, so do stay tuned to Radio August for updates.
I heard Dorota Shaw was due to play this weekend.
At the Tulip Festival?
Indeed. I understand why they'd want to postpone it. Tonight the weather will be mostly dry and warm, but be on the lookout for dark clouds on the horizon, as there may be scattered showers. Best take an umbrella, Monroe, so you don't get wet.
I like getting wet.
Oh.
That's 6 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
I guess that's the ending of the 6 o'clock with Poe and Monroe. She likes getting wet. Alright, let's go to the next chapter.
Much as calm. Take my ring, she'd say. I know I love it, but I don't need it anymore.
Oscar.
Who are you? Right, because the local police are so rubbish. It's been a day, a whole day. It's typical of them.
Alright.
Not long, a couple of months maybe.
Oh, this must be her boyfriend.
We did care for each other. No, no one. She was really popular.
Maybe it was a stalker, a fan or something? I don't know.
What, you mean watching us? That's disturbing. No, it couldn't have been. The only place he could have hidden would be in the closet. And
the closet?
I suppose someone could have hidden in the closet. Not hidden. Well, she liked it. Liked me to watch.
Watch?
Not other guys. Just, she had these, you know, voyeur fantasies.
Interesting.
She'd ask me to hide in the upstairs closet. And then she'd walk in and strip off. Start touching herself.
Oh.
She got upset if I came out before she'd finished.
Sorry,
is this helping with the investigation?
She got a little kinky there.
Clothes, mainly. I did see something that freaked me out a bit. She had a wedding dress in there. She knew I'd seen it, but we never talked about it. Not even as a joke.
So you never brought up why does she have a wedding dress? That's... Okay. Let's ask about the parents.
Not much. They always seemed happy to see me. I don't think they meant it. They wanted Dorota to focus on her music.
Can't really blame them for that. I mean, that's what they want. That's what they want.
Yeah, I went round there in the afternoon. Her parents were at work, and we were, you know, hanging out. I left at about 5.
About 5, huh?
Playing football. It was just 5-a-side. Finished at about 9:30. I called her, but she never picked up.
Okay. Well, that seems a bit legit. But yeah, it sounds like Dorota had a little bit of fetishes.
After the first domino falls, the rest go quickly. Always.
Any more news on Oscar Wainwright? Yep, that's what you told me too. Not a suspect. Just the tarot readers. No one else is remotely suspicious compared to them.
Hey, is that a picture of Dorota? Nah, I wouldn't add the boyfriend.
Got any reason for saying that?
Yeah, that's right. She didn't know where she was Monday.
I'll look into it.
Please do. Let's see, what do we know?
Rain says he was praying in his room, alone. Nobody corroborates. Bronwyn and Lexi say they were in the same room last night. Shame they can't agree which one. The tarot readers mentioned Birmingham. You're looking into it.
That I am.
There's some talk about a traveller, whatever that is. Oscar's not a suspect. He was playing football last night with lots of witnesses.
Yeah, so he's already
According to
ruled
Oscar,
out.
Dorota had a wedding dress in her closet, which is strange.
It is strange.
Violet says she doesn't remember last night, but I've got that in hand. That's it.
Yeah, I do find that weird that she has a wedding dress. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me out here. I'm just thinking logically. Who has a wedding dress and keeps it in their closet? Unless it was like her mother's wedding dress and she like kind of treasured it and kept it. That's one thing, but if she like went out and bought it, then I don't know. Or that if she's into like role playing, but you know, we already found out from Oscar she has a little bit of freaky fetishes, so maybe that dress had something to do with it. I'm not too sure. But enough about that. Let's just keep digging in with this investigation.
With no touch, no shared germ, no shared air, just an audience full of awful curiosity.
That is very, very creepy. Let's visit Violet. Does she have anything to say to me?
She flaunts herself.
Oh.
Her body. Had boudoir photographs taken. Who do you think those photos were for, Sam? Her mother? Ask Zach Weston. He took them.
Who's Zach? The photographer?
Zach's the local photographer.
Okay.
You should go and talk to him, Sam. You're good at talking. At Weston's Photographic, off the high road. It's late, but he's always there.
Oh.
I have a good memory. I'm still holding grudges from when I was 4.
Huh. You have a good memory, but you don't remember where you were the night of the murder. That's funny. Yeah, you're totally a suspect.
I'll explain it to you. It's more about what you can do.
Let's see what Bronwyn has to say.
Yes, he came to see me. He wanted to know that she was okay, spiritually speaking.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't know how. I'm a tarot reader, not a medium.
So you pretty much lied.
Maybe I should have pretended, though. Made up some fake message from her to give him some comfort. You lie once, and you just have to keep going, don't you?
Pretty much.
Oh, she gets easily confused. Youth of today. Fine. Jeeve Dupont was breathing down our necks, so we thought it would be simpler if we stuck together. If these walls weren't separating our rooms, then technically it'd be true. To protect Lexi. None of this is her fault, and she gets anxious easily. I was just trying to take the pressure off. I'm sorry, Sam. I never usually lie.
Well, I mean, that's questionable, but at least she admitted it when we pressed her. So I mean, to me she seems believable. I don't know about anyone else, but I think Bronwyn right now seems a little bit more believable than Violent, for example. Let's see. Let's go back to this question. What were you doing in your room?
I was logged into Tarotasm. It's a phone reading service, and I get paid by the minute. Which, now that I'm saying it, it's not something I really should be bragging about.
Okay. So she gets paid to be like a phone call person for tarot.
And comes from an ancient burial ground called Saqqara.
Sam, what can I do for you? We're trying to save people. I said we're trying. We have a gift. We have Mercury, the tarot. It tells us where bad things are going to happen, and we try and stop them.
So, obviously, they're basically following this special deck, and I guess they go based on coordinates. Hence why they get to locations like August. My guess.
Birmingham. We couldn't save anyone there either. The problem with travelers is...
Oh, you open your mouth.
Let's put a pin in this one, Sam.
No. You open your mouth, buddy. You're in trouble. Bring up Birmingham and these, travelers you speak of.
Let me ask Bronwyn. If she says it's okay to talk about it, it's okay to talk about it.
Okay. That means I'll have to transform as Rain and as Bronwyn.
We didn't. Lexi used a Ouija board to get the name. It kinda did. It's hard getting an exact name out of 78 cards, but considering we'd never heard of Dorota Shaw, it painted a pretty good picture otherwise. No. Lexi needs to give it context from the tarot reading. A lot of the time it comes up with nothing, or a sordid comment directed at Lexi. I think that's why she keeps using it, to be honest.
Alright, let's learn more about this Ouija board that they use for their tarot.
Once we thought there was going to be a murder, Lexi used the Ouija board to find out the victim's name. It spelled out Dorota. This is going to sound weird. Most people believe Ouija boards contact the dead. So if Lexi contacts a dead person, that person needs to know what happens in the future. Ergo, maybe the person she's contacting is from the future. A time traveler who died here.
Time travel's real, huh? I get what he's trying to say. I'm not gonna say, like, it sounds weird, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Well, it's just gonna unravel, so we're just gonna roll with it.
Yes. Well, not just time travel, time and space travel is also possible. If we accept the fact there are multiple realities, we must also accept there are others like us who found a way to travel between these realities.
Because to me, it just seems like besides that Birmingham traveler thing, Rain is more open to explaining things versus like Lexi and Bronwyn. So I can believe him to an extent, and I can tell he's like reluctant to say certain things.
attic mouse she'd foolishly dreamed of keeping. In truth, the parrot was better at...
Hi Sam, back from more already?
Alright, let's go about the alibi.
I didn't. How did you find out? Am I in trouble? Ron was worried about me not having an alibi. She was logged in doing phone readings, so she's alright. But there's nothing to prove that I was here. I was though, cross my heart and hope to die. Oh, it's just your run-of-the-mill spirit communication device? Want to know how it works?
That would be nice.
Cool, okay. So Ouija boards send us messages from the spirit world, right? But where is the spirit world? I mean, there's planets and stars and space. The spirit world must be really far away beyond all that. We're so far to travel, messages from the spirit world must take ages to get here. Like how light from the sun takes 8 minutes or something to reach us. You still with me? Oh, you're sweet. Where was I? Oh, so here's my point. The spirit world is actually several hours ahead of us. That's how we get messages about things that haven't happened yet. That's how we got Dorota's name. Because in the spirit world, she was already dead.
Huh? That's weird. Let's let this play out, guys. Maybe we can unravel some more.
I know, mind-blowing.
Very mind-blowing because I have no idea. I've never heard of that before. I mean, if you guys heard something like that, please put in the comments, but I've never heard anything like that before.
Traveller, that's a really old role-playing game, isn't it? Oh, did you now? Well then, you know what I know. I guess you must be a part of our inner circle. How does it feel?
Let's go with feels good.
Cheeky? Are you flirting with me?
Oh.
Oh dear, am I blushing again?
Oh.
There's a murder to solve. Maybe you should do that first, then me. No, not like that.
Yeah, she meant it that way.
No, I think Bronwyn met him though. You'd have to ask her, or him. It's not my place to say.
Fair enough.
But Lena, the thing is, if you can wish it, you can do it.
Oh.
Thank you for...
Your ability isn't endless. It will run out at some point.
Oh. So we have like a limit to doing this or something? So let's be Bronwyn and let's go visit Oscar. Maybe that might help.
Hi, I'm Bronwyn. I'm Bronwyn.
Was a silver rattle and whistle.
This is a really interesting
It
game.
was found
so far,
within a
guys.
sealed well at St. Augustine's.
Maybe we
along
might get
with the
something out of
bones
Oscar now that we're
of 7
Bronwyn.
Didn't expect you to come back. Have you contacted Dorota?
Come back?
No. Yes. She says you know who killed her. Yes. No. Yes. No.
Oh, so you've just come to see me?
I'm sorry the police ignored our prediction. Do you get on with Dorota? I'm sorry.
It's okay, just... How did you know? How did you come up with a name and then she's gone?
She's not gone. She's waiting to pass. How could someone even get into Dorota's bedroom?
The usual way? The front door. Like, it's a townhouse and she's on the 3rd floor. So, other than teleporting or a big ladder, that's the only way.
Do you get on with Dorota's family?
So she lives on the 3rd floor, so someone had to obviously just slip in.
Not really. Especially not now. They're convinced I got her into the wrong crowd or something. Am I really a bad influence?
Wow,
Yes.
he doesn't seem like it.
Thanks, Bronwyn. I know it's a bit soon, but maybe we can grab coffee sometime?
Oh.
Just to chat about things.
No thanks. Yes.
I like you, Bronwyn. How about soon? How about tonight? I can come to the guest house?
No, you can't. Sure.
So it's a date? Sort of. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, let's return to the guest house and wait for the date.
Hi. Hey. Hello. Sorry, I'm not used to dating so soon.
Let's see how this plays out, guys.
I'm actually not in the mood anymore. It's okay. I'm actually not in the mood anymore. It's okay. We can take it slowly.
Oh, I wasn't sure I was thinking on doing anything, physical.
Get up in the bed. It's okay. We can talk.
Thanks, Bronwyn. I'm still trying to make sense of it all. I noticed I've got some Earl Grey in the hallway. I know it sounds a bit rude, but I'd really like some if you wouldn't mind.
Sure, I'll be right back. Actually, I don't like leaving people alone in my room. Sure.
Uh-oh. Why am I not about to like this?
To the sadness.
Well, I hope so, Robin, and...
Let's continue back as Sam.
Monroe.
And we're gonna go
The
visit...
sprinklers hissed down. I crawled.
It's 7 o'clock, and here's the latest August update. Chief DuPont of August Police is urging residents to be vigilant tonight following the brutal murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Whilst he stresses there is no immediate threat to the community at large, residents should be on the lookout until the killer is in police custody. Miss Shaw was found strangled in her bedroom home last night. Poe, I heard she was found by her mother.
Truly awful. Mother caught me up to all sorts of mischief in my bedroom. Also in the news, emergency services were called to the crossroads at Grange Avenue and Church Street following a collision between two cars. There are no reports of any serious injuries, but you might want to take a different route for now.
Oh no.
Thanks for the heads up, Poe.
It's going to be one of those nights, Poe.
Stick with me, doll. I'll keep you safe.
I'm not going anywhere. At 7 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Alright, guys. I think this is where I'm gonna end this episode. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, and we'll be back with part 2 of the Shapeshifting Detective.